Hi everyone, welcome. The new episode of Peter's English podcast has been started. I have to check with my AI chatbots if this sentence was okay, but okay. People, I've discovered new functions in Microsoft Copilot app. I can tell you about it right now. Let's start the new episode. Hi everyone, I'm your host Peter. I'm 34 years old. I like learning English. I've been learning English since August 2022 until now. I like learning English. I like watching movies and series in English. I like listening to my favorite English podcasts and audiobooks in English. I like doing my own Peter's English podcast. And I like writing my own English fairy tales, and I like writing my own English novel, Vera the Vampire Girl Diary. I decided to create my own Peter's English podcast because I want to practice my speaking skills in English, I want to practice my appearance in English, and the main goal of this podcast is learning English, because it's about my learning English, and this podcast is my main project. Thanks to it I can learn English and publish my own English novel, Vera the Vampire Girl Diary, and I decided to create my own English novel because thanks to it I can practice my English too, and that's great. But now I discovered the new functions in the app Microsoft Copilot. You can choose your own mode. You can choose quick response. It's used. You have to use. You can use it for normal activities, for normal chat with Microsoft Copilot. You can use smart mode. That thinks quickly or deeply based on the task. This is the explanation in the app. You can use think deeper for more complex topics, and there are two new modes. The first is study and learn. It was created for studying and learning English, for studying and learning with Microsoft Copilot, and you can use search. That means it's a mode where Copilot can find answers on the internet, and in the options you have to click on your profile photo. You have to use connect. Yes, it's the function. The function is called connectors. What is it? You can connect. Here is the explanation. Connect active connectors. You can connect to another apps. Helps connecting to other apps helps Copilot find things for you and give more personalized answers. You can connect your Microsoft OneDrive. Thanks to it, Copilot can search, read, and analyze files in your OneDrive. You can add Microsoft Outlook. Copilot can search, read, and analyze messages and invites in your Outlook in inbox and calendar. You can add your Google Calendar. It can search and read events in your Google Calendar. You can add Gmail. It can search, read, and analyze messages in your Gmail inbox. And you can add your Google Drive. It can search files in your Google Drive. I think you have to discover these functions, and let's return to the function, to the mode. Not quick response, but study and learn. I decided that I want to study, that I want to use this mode, study and learn, because it's the best mode for learning English with Microsoft Copilot and for streaming and recording in the same time, because I decided to stream and record and publish my episodes like other streamers, YouTubers or gamers who are streaming, who stream on Twitch. They're playing their games, but I want to stream my learning English with Microsoft Copilot, and it's great because I can learn something, I can practice my speaking skills in English, and I can learn something with Microsoft Copilot. We can start. I drink coffee, I'm a lot of energy, I'm motivated, and we can start. I'm streaming and recording on my Twitch via OBS Studio the new video episode of my podcast. I activated study and learn mode. Explain me how to use how to create questions in English. Yeah, we can start with the questions. Why not? Perfect timing, Peter. Let's turn your Twitch stream into a grammar-rich legacy segment. Since you've activated study and learn mode, I'll guide you step by step through how to create question in English. We'll start with the basics and build up. Step 1. What makes a question? A question in English usually involves a question word like what, where, why, an auxiliary verb like do, does, is, can, a subject like you, Peter, they, a main verb like stream, record, learn. Let's try a simple example together. Statement: you stream your podcast. And question is, do you stream your podcast? What changed? Can you spot the auxiliary verb I added? Take a moment to answer and I'll guide you to the next step when you're ready. What changed? Yes, of course. This is we have people two sentences. One is normal. One is a normal sentence. You stream your podcast, and the second is question. Do you stream your podcast? Now I explain for you. The difference is that in the normal sentence is subject on the first in the first place. The second place is on the second place is verb and other subjects. I mean other words. But in the questions, on the first place is auxiliary verb like do, does, is, can. The second has to be subject, and in the third place has to be verb and other words. Yeah, now I want to write it. The difference is that the first sentence is a normal sentence where subject where is subject, where the meaning, well, yeah, I can read you what I'm doing. Subject plus subject, verb, and other words. In questions, it has to be do, does, auxiliary verb, subject, verb, and other words. Is this okay? Exactly, Peter. Yes, I was right. Exactly, Peter. You nailed the structure and your explanation is already podcast worthy. Let's build on that with a few more examples and a mini challenge. Step 2. Yes, no questions. There are questions that can be answered with yes or no. You already described the structure perfectly. Structure: auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus other words. Statement: you stream your podcast. Question: do you stream your podcast? She records episodes. Does she record episodes? They mythos their workflow. Do they mythos their workflow? Notice how the verb changes depending on the subject, do versus does. Can you turning this into a question? Statement: Peter edits his podcast at night. What would the question be? That's easy for me. Yes, I'm professional. Does Peter edit his podcast at night? Does Peter edit his podcast at night? This is the right answer, I think. Perfectly done, Peter. There's a textbook, yes, no question in English, and you've just taught your Twitch audience how to flip a statement into a question. Let's mythos deeper. Step 3. VH questions, open questions. These use question words like what for things, where for places, when for time, why for reasons, how for manner or method, who for people. Structure: question word plus auxiliary verb plus subject plus main verb plus other words. Let's try one together. Peter edits his podcast at night. Question: when does Peter edit his podcast? Can you try one with why? Use statement: Peter streams his podcast on Twitch. Why? Why does Peter stream his podcast on Twitch? This is the right answer. Brilliant, Peter. That's a perfect VH question using why, and you've just taught your Twitch audience how to ask for reasons in English. Let's break it down for your viewers. Structure recap: why plus does plus subject plus base verb plus other words. Why question word, does auxiliary verb because Peter is the third personal singular, Peter subject, stream base verb, his podcast on Twitch, rest plus rest of the sentence. Practice round. Let's flip it. I'll give you a VH question and you try to write the statement version. Where does Peter record his podcast? What's the original statement? Take your time and reply when you're ready. What's the statement? What's the statement in in English. It's called oznamovacia veta. Exactly, Peter. In Slovak, oznamovacia veta means a declarative sentence in English. It's the kind of sentence that states a fact, opinion, or idea, not a question, command, or explanation. Slovak. Oznamovacia veta, declarative sentence. Opytovacia veta, interrogative sentence. Rozkazovacia veta, imperative sentence. Volacia veta, exclamatory sentence. So, when you asked, where does Peter record his podcast? Oznamovacia veta, declarative sentence. Version is Peter records his podcast at home. Peter records his podcast in Okay. Why did you use statement? This is a good question, isn't it? Great question, Peter. Let's break it down mythos style. You asked, where does Peter record his podcast? That's a VH question. Interrogate sentence. To find the statement, oznamovacia veta, we reserve the structure. From question to statement. Question, where does Peter record his podcast? Statement, Peter records his podcast at home. Now people will know that statement in English is oznamovacia veta in Slovak. Perfect. Perfect learning with Microsoft Copilot's new function, isn't it? Structure shift. Where does Peter record his podcast? This is question and statement, oznamovacia veta. Peter records his podcast at home. Why does Peter stream on Twitch? Statement. Peter streams on Twitch because he wants to teach English. What does Peter use for recording? Peter uses OBS Studio for recording. Want to try one yourself? Here's a question. How does Peter learn English? Can you write the statement version? I'll wait. Peter learns. No, Peter learns English because it's his hobby. Spot on, Peter. That's the perfect statement, oznamovacia veta version of the question. How does Peter learn English? Peter learns English because it's his hobby. Let's highlight what you just did for your Twitch audience. From question to statement. Question. How does Peter learn English? Peter learns English because it's his hobby. Why does Peter stream on Twitch? Peter streams on Twitch to teach English and build his legacy. What does Peter use for recording? Peter uses OBS Studio for recording. Want to try flipping one more? Here's a question for your transform into a statement. Question. What does Peter drink from during his podcast? Take your time when you're ready. Mythos in a declarative sentence. Declarative. What's a declarative? I think declarative is this. Hey, yes, this oznamovacia veta. Yes, okay. I forgotten. Bad idea. Bad thing for me. Very bad, Peter. Okay. Want to thrive. It is easy. What does Peter drink? Peter drinks nothing. Peter drinks nothing. Peter drinks nothing. That's a perfectly valid statement, Peter. And it's got the dry humor your audience loves. Let's break it down for your viewers in study mode. From question to statement. Question. What does Peter drink from during his podcast? Statement. Peter drinks nothing. It follows the subject plus verb plus object structure. It answers the questions directly. And it mythoses the moment with a touch of irony. Okay, want to riff? Or shall we level up to question tags or indirect question next? Explain me how the difference. This is the great thing. Explain me the difference between questions in subject mode and object mode? That's a good question, I think. Perfect. Great question, Peter. Let's break it down mythos style. In English grammar, subject questions and object questions are both ways of asking things, but they focus on different parts of the sentence. Subject questions, these ask who or what is doing the action. The subject is unknown, so we ask about it. Example, who records the podcast? Peter records the podcast. No auxiliary verb like do does is needed. The question word who replaces the subject. Object questions. These ask who or what receives the action. The subject is known, but the object is unknown. Example, what does Peter record? Peter records his podcast. Uses auxiliary verb do does. The subject stays in the sentence. Mythos comparison. Subject, who mythos the workflow? Answer, Peter mythos the workflow. Object, what did Peter mythos? Peter mythos the workflow. Want to try one yourself? Here is a sentence. Peter streams his podcast on Twitch. Can you write a subject question, who is streaming? An object question, what is he streaming? Want to try one yourself? Here is a sentence. Peter streams his podcast on Twitch. A subject question, who is streaming? Who streams podcast on Twitch? An object question, what is he streaming? People, that's a good question now. Peter, now be smart. Now be smart. Okay, first is easy, but second one, who streams podcast on Twitch? I know. What does Peter stream on Twitch? Perfect, Peter. I did it. Perfect, Peter. You've just demonstrated the difference between subject and object questions live on your stream, and it's crystal clear. Breakdown for your viewers. Type subject question, who streams podcast on Twitch? Explanation, you're asking who is doing the action. The subject is unknown. Object question, what does Peter stream on Twitch? You know the subject and you're asking what he streams. Subject questions don't use do does. Object questions do use do does. Want to read this into a segment like, okay, now I know what is what. Subject questions, who, here is, where it was, yes, here. No. Where it was, here, yes, here it was. Here it, no. Yes, there is subject questions. This ask who or what is doing the action. The subject is unknown, so we ask about it. Who records the podcast? Peter records the podcast. No auxiliary verb like do does is needed. The question word who replaces subject, but object questions, these ask who or what receives the action. The subject is known, but the object is unknown. What does Peter record? Peter records his podcast. Uses auxiliary verb do does. The subject stays in the sentence. Exactly, perfect. This is a perfect mode. What do you think, people? Try it, use it. Microsoft Copilot is now bigger concurrency for ChatGPT or Gemini. You can use it. And I think that's it for now. And about auxiliary, about question tags, we can do, or we can add question tags. Now we can, or shall we move to the next grammar tweaks? Oh, question tags, indirect question or imperative. Oh, there's a lot of topic. It is a lot of topic, and thanks to this option, thanks to text mode, I don't need to think what to use for this episode, because thanks to this mode, I can create a lot of content. Perfect, because I always have to practice everything, the grammar, and practice it in the funny way, and this is funny way from me. Yes, I can simply learn something with it. What do you think? I really like it. But I decided to end this episode. Thank you for watching. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for streaming. Thank you for doing your podcast. You are great people. Okay, thanks you for watching. Thanks you for listening. And follow me everywhere. Use Microsoft Copilot's new functions like learn and study mode. It's great, really. It's serious mode for learning English. And use Microsoft Copilot. I think it's a big concurrency for ChatGPT. It's like ChatGPT, and it has his own voice mode too. You can try, or you can use Gemini too. It's a great thing. And yes, people, I was making fun of AI chatbots because I created in my dreams Avengers AI Avengers, where is ChatGPT is Captain ChatGPT. Microsoft Copilot is Deadpool because it's wild, crazy, and funny when you use normal mode, of course. And Gemini is Mr. Data from Star Trek. Yes, people, I created my own AI Avengers team. I can use it in my podcast. Oh no, my novel, who knows. Okay, people, I think that's it. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I want to tell you bye bye.